Hello? Hi, the Queen's arrived. You sent the internet into a tizzy because of tomatoes being bisexual.
Well, a good way to get a tomato out of a flower is you have to tremble the flower like this. You have to go like this with the flower. Did you know that?
Stop doing that.
Tomato flowers are bisexual, and you have to do this to get the pollen to drop down.
Interesting.
Because within the flower is the pollen to fertilize the flower to make the fruit. It's within the flower.
Okay, let's get started. There is something around the arts that is happening in terms of lack of funding.
We want the museums to treat our country fairly. We want the museums to talk about the history of our country in a fair manner, not in a woke manner or in a racist manner.
I wanted to get your take on sort of, some would say, the assault on the arts.
There is an assault on the arts, definitely, and it only throws credit to the arts, doesn't it, that the power of the arts. It is still a free country. One thing you learn as you're older is that things are cyclical. And it's upsetting in a way because you think, we're on a great trajectory, we're going to go, and it's going to go better and better and better. But no, it goes like that, and then comes back again. And that's actually the trajectory of history.
Your voice is iconic. Do you worry about AI and your voice being used in a way that maybe you don't like?
No, of course. Obviously, what's happening on the internet is so fast and so enormous. I think we're all slightly at sea on a raft and hoping that we won't drown.
To be recognized for a lifetime devoted to the craft of acting, and above all, an unyielding love for the art of storytelling. And that was written by AI.
I have to say, I'm also incredibly excited and interested by, what's coming. It is already kind of totally extraordinary, and it kind of excites me. That's one of the reasons I sort of like living longer, is I just can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah, I want AI version of Helen. I do in my regular life. Like, I'd love to have you be my voice message. The film is fantastic. So I wanted to know, as a fan of yours, Helen Mirren, would you be entertaining the idea of solving a murder or a crime?
Yes, I think I would. I mean, I think the psychology of crime is absolutely fascinating. I mean, like millions of other women, I'm sort of mesmerized and fascinated by, these extraordinary moments when ordinary people become demonic, or I say extraordinary, but I don't mean in a fabulous way. I mean in a disastrous way.
Yeah.
There she is. Joyce. Are you a nurse?
Bang on target.
I'm Elizabeth. Would you take a look at that for me, please?
Dear God.
Would you care to join us to discuss things further?
Who is us?
I'm sorry, how rude of me. We're the Thursday Murder Club.
The film, it's such a nice, wonderful distraction. What about the story interests you? Because the fan base for it for the book series, is huge.
It's extraordinary. You think of all the murder mystery books have been written. Every year, probably 30 or 40 murder mystery books come out. To find a new way of looking at an old tradition, an old trope, and to reinvent it. It's very clever, and that's what Richard Osman did. Partly by placing it in a retirement home was a sort of genius idea. And then, of course, the wonderful character development that he achieved in the books, and the lovely comedic tone. It's so British.
Did she bleed to death from the stab wound or the fall?
Oh, my God.
Oh, hello.
Isn't this room usually for jigsaws?
Not on a Thursday, no.
Oh. Okay.
This character specifically has such a force of personality. What was it about this character that you responded to?
Reading the books I totally identified that as being my role if it was ever to, be a movie. Elizabeth and her know-it-allness, and at the same time know nothing really about human beings.
Watching it, you can't imagine anyone else doing it. It's just so you, you know?
I was digging around.
Oh, with your hands?
No, not with my hands. Don't be ridiculous. I had a trowel.
Oh, silly me, a trowel.
People are already wanting you to do another film, another version of the
Well,
books.
let's hope, because we
Yes.
love doing it, and we'd love to do another one.
And I need a Helen Mirren franchise. Like, I need more of them. That's something that I think a lot of people
Yeah.
want.
And the lovely thing is that it's so very different. My other franchise is Maeve in Mobland.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
couldn't be more different.
Different, very different.
Very different.
One of the things from your book that I own, that I'm obsessed with, is you write in the book that you visited a hand reader when you were 23 years old, and that person said, you will be successful in life, but you will see your greatest success later, after the age of 45. That manifested. What do you think of sort of the topic around aging, particularly with women in Hollywood, and do you think things are changing in how we view that?
Oh, well, I think things have changed exponentially, incredibly, in the last 15 years, maybe. Greta Garbo retired at the age of 35. A lot of women's careers don't start till 35 nowadays. If your career when you're young is based upon your beauty, then, you're going to have a tough time. It's just a question, really, of familiarizing the audience with an older face.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? This is what we look like.
Yeah. There was a documentary made about you called Doing Her Own Thing. And what blows me away is it so personifies how you've done your career.
I don't know why he did that documentary. I have no idea. I found the whole thing mortifyingly embarrassing. People think that you plan things. You don't plan things. The choices that you make are, your choices, and you have to stand by them. If you're lucky enough in my career to have choices, that alone is a sort of fantastic advantage. Just as my theatre and film, TV career was just taking off, I basically kind of stepped away from it and went and did very experimental theatre for a year. I wanted to expand my horizons, I guess. So, those sorts of choices, I guess, take your career in a certain direction. Otherwise, it's just a crapshoot, quite honestly. It's a complete crapshoot.
Yeah.
People think it's all planned. It really isn't. The luck of things like Prime Suspect coming along was perfect for me.
Jane, were you sober in there?
Of course I was.
You may not believe this, Jane. In fact, I know you're not going to believe this, but I am very concerned about your health.
Oh, well, thank you very much, sir. I'm so grateful.
I want you to take sick leave for the rest of your service.
With Prime Suspect, that was a pivotal role. It became iconic in the UK, but what impact do you think the American success of Prime Suspect had on your career?
I think probably quite substantial, because it was such a major leading role, and also at the time, believe it or not, a female cop leading a show that hadn't been seen before, and they weren't at all sure that it would be successful, that a woman could lead a show.
Helen Mirren.
You've won an Emmy for playing Queen Elizabeth I. You won an Oscar and a Tony for Queen Elizabeth II. People come to you to play these towering figures in history, people that we'll talk about for years and years. You are the representation of those figures in cinematic world. So, what is it about you think?
I always used to say I will never play a real life person because you can't win.
Yeah.
You can't win.
Well, you did.
Well, but you're only ever going to be at the most 65% as good as the real person is at being themselves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A historic figure, Elizabeth I, you've got a bit more leeway. The only way to find out what Elizabeth I looked like was to look at portraits, portraiture. So I'd been looking at all the portraits and studying them like a sort of detective, trying to find character, indications. And then I thought, that's what I'd do with Elizabeth II as well. I'll look at paintings of her and try and see what an artist's impression. I'm not doing an impersonation. It's only my portrait. So it's my perception of what this person is. I'm not trying to be her. And that liberated me.
I mean, even in watching the film, you feel the force of the weight of Queen Elizabeth II's thoughts, judgments, feelings, just in one quick look of her eyes, and you're doing that. It's brilliant to watch. When I saw that
Well,
movie,
all acting is through the eyes,
Sure.
actually. Yeah, it's where it comes from.
but you do your eyes better than a lot of other actors. You, like Morgan Freeman, have become the go-to person for voiceovers. I mean, you...
Yes, a little bit,
You
yes.
really are. I mean, with
Yes,
the
I'm not-
Barbie film,
Not stereotypical Barbie pretty.
Note to the filmmakers, Margot Robbie is the wrong person to cast if you want to make this point.
I'm not very good at voiceovers. I'm
Oh.
kind of rather useless at them. But
why do you think that?
I don't know. I'm a great admirer of people who can do animated films, and they put so much character into their voices. They can tell such a complex story. I can't do that. To my ear, I always find very bland and boring.
You became a U.S. citizen. For an American, we see you as like...
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
a dual citizen.
Yes.
Yes.
But you are the queen to us. You are British culture to us.
I mean, I'm British and I'm a Londoner. I was born in London. My dad was a taxi driver in London. So I'm a real Londoner. But when I realized I could authentically have dual citizenship, then it was a no-brainer. And I cried when I became a citizen. And then the most beautiful thing happened with my brand new, US passport.
Yeah.
I presented it for the first time
Wow.
in immigration. And the guy looked up and said, "Welcome home." Oh,
That's
it was,
lovely.
It was brilliant. I'm very proud of my American citizenship, I have to say.
I want to wrap things up by saying how fantastic the film is. Are you eager to sort of never retire, to keep going until you want to stop? I mean, there is...
Yeah, that's the way. Or until they stop me, if you know what I mean.
Who's going to stop you? I don't think
No,
anyone...
I mean, you get stopped by not getting any more work,
Oh.
sort of thing. My business retires you, sort of thing. But the point of my work, actors' work, and writers, and painters, and poets, and musicians, is to reflect the world around them. If there's a way that what I contribute does that, whatever age that is, then fine, I'm up for it, sort of thing.